Alrighty. I have no idea how good the mic is on this Chromebook, so we're going to see how we do. Easy. Last session, you fought and struggled through the last of Staumast's attack on Beormingas. Already battered and bruised, the party had managed to fend off some of the mechanical attackers that had been sent down from above and began making your way through the city to see if there was anywhere else you could help out. You found a rather tragic scene playing out in front of you. Two parents who had been... their conversion had begun from a Starman that were carrying their crying and screaming child to the Starman to also be converted amidst the fire and flames of their burning house. You intervened, and by the skin of your teeth and nearly killing both parents in the act, managed to save all three of them. And took them back to Vitarax's temple to hole up in Peppery, where a number of people are seeking refuge. It was at this point you all tried to find some rest. Flint returned to Duckbath to find his home, to find Steel, and find some rest for themselves there. Onika, Ciri, and Montague, that's who else was here, instead stayed in the temple to Bahamut. The populace in there feeling grateful to have some adventurers on hand should more defense be needed. But with the attack over and the Style Carrier brought to a inferno of a halt on the outskirts of the city, you were, for now, safe. Gogo had split off to find what was happening at the Copper House. What you discovered was, fortunately, a tavern that had a little bit more time than everyone else to prepare its defenses. Had done well by it. Many of the populace were hiding in cellars, either in nearby houses or in the Copper House itself. The books which you wanted to keep safe were kept safe, stored down below amongst the populace in a heavily locked traveller's chest that Gron spent most of the night sat on to stop any curious eyes from having a peek inside. Like the others, your rest would have been fitful and suspicious, uncertain if more danger was yet to come. And although scouting trips outside had told you that the initial danger had passed, sounds of the city, cracks and bangs of buildings already aflame, falling apart, a few Style men still about in the streets, being taken down either by soldiers or by the people putting up their own defenses, carried on through the night. A night so long that by the time all of you had managed to take your long rest, it was midday. But it is a strange day in Beormingas. The summer heat has broken and thunder rolls across the skies of bleeding and bloodied Beormingas. Smoke rises to paint the storm clouds in even darker shades, but today the factories are quieter, the culprit instead being suburban craters. Flashing rain sizzles on the fires that refuse to die out, and the debris of what were once homes floats among the scum in the street-side puddles. Tired, dirty, injured, the people work on. Streets come together to make repairs where they can, or cart away the rubble before they begin to rebuild. The injured and displaced spend their time recovering or making plans in the temples and pubs that have become sanctuaries during this crisis. From a lamppost, swinging gently, a stile man hangs from the neck, the chain noose rattling as it spasms, damaged but not dead. In the center of the city, where the buildings are taller and grander, soldiers work in efficient unison to repair the damage and clean the streets. And on the edge of the city, the people, the soldiers, and their leaders gather. They each have their reasons, the excuses they would give if you asked them why they were there, and sure, some would be genuine. But most just can't help themselves but to look down into the deep, dark pit, hypnotized by the city below. As we find your characters on this strange day, Gogo, you awaken in the bowels of the copper house, in the cellar. There are barrels against the wall in one corner. A couple have been tapped with Dutch courage, either easing people through the fears of the night or making sure people get something that resembles sleep. It's warm and humid. There's more people down here than there should be, and even the rats have had to squeeze in a bit to allow everyone to make space. Some beds have been put down, bits of sacking or soft materials that could be spared, some stuff brought from upstairs by those brave enough to head up. People don't, strangely, however, seem very willing to leave. Some, as the light of day made its way in through the little windows at the top of the room, headed off as soon as they could. But a lot of the families are hesitant. Mothers hold their children and avoid questions such as what has happened to their house. When are they going to go home? Drinks are brought from upstairs, food is brought from upstairs. Above, you can hear the sound of the pub's normal life almost kicking into gear. Food will have to be served. People will still want drinks. Gron gets you to give him a hand, lugging the traveller's case upstairs. And there's less secrecy than normal as you enter the secret library. Not because it's any less precious than it always has been, but just because today you're not really sure anyone's going to give a damn. The air, though a bit stale in the library, is still fresher than downstairs. You finally find you have a chance to breathe, to properly wake up. A pot of coffee is brought in. A bread roll pressed into your hand by... What was the name of the Dragonborn who worked here? It's gone. Honey was playing.
One?
Huh?
Is it the pink one?
Yeah, the pink one.
Honey.
I'm fairly certain that was the player's name. But
Yeah,
you know what? We'll go with it. Honey, the Dragonborn, presses a bread roll into your hand and gives a quiet thank you.
I said no, thank you.
She
you don't
makes
need to do the airplane joke. Don't call me honey or whatever.
Oh, yes. Vroom. Quite like an airplane. And as you take in this moment, you have a hiccup, a glitch in your mind almost. As in the tiny little stained glass window that you bought, that Grand has just replaced on its shelf, you see a reflection for a moment. Tall figure, a dark coat, a hand glowing red. There's no one else in the room, it's just you and Grand. But it stays with you for a moment. What would you like to do?
So I shiver a bit and I go to sit down and take kind of a steady sip from the coffee. And I'm just looking around, taking the room in, and I'm watching Grand go quite carefully, even though he can be quite rough and ready and all that. He is actually quite carefully laying things back out bit by bit and trying to restore the room to what it was. And as much as he pretends to be a kind of an enforcer type, he does really care about the space. It's clear, that much is clear. And I just call out to Grand and I say, what's a place like this library even for now, after what's befallen the city? Think about the people in the basement.
What do you mean?
Well, there was one passing scholar who came through here a long time ago, and he spoke about the idea of the library as being a space for community, and it has made me think a bit. We've been secret here necessarily because, well, so we're talking about things that people who govern this city don't really want us to talk about, right?
Yeah?
I wonder, should we be a bit more open to giving space to those families downstairs? I don't think they have homes to go to.
You're a real bleeding heart. But that's not the purpose of this place. Look, no matter what's happened, no matter how much shit we've got to clean up today, tomorrow, next month, there's still going to be ideas that, though beneficial to the people, them upstairs ain't going to like. And if there ain't a place to discuss those ideas, then they'll never grow into anything that can actually do some help. I'd love to invite them all up here. But what are they going to do? Fancy words in a book ain't going to put food in their bellies, put a roof back over their head. What, you want to fill them with false hope that we might get a government one day who gives a shit? We all know we're fighting an uphill battle in here. The library stays as it is, because it's got to.
I kind of turn and I look at the stained glass window again and shiver a little bit. And then I laugh and turn to Grand and say, so when you are sat down the back of this room during all these bards and scholars talks and poetry and all that, you are actually listening.
Yeah? What gave you the idea that I wasn't? He
Mainly
plonks
all the-
a huge dram of whiskey into his coffee.
I was like, mainly that, and the kind of philandering and heckling you tend to do at the back. But
Idea's
anyway.
not good if it can't be tested.
yeah, I don't dispute that. But I think you know what, I think you're right. What I was trying to think though is, you know, we need to provide some sort of shelter. Maybe if it's not physically in this library space, you know, what can you do for these people? I think maybe one of the things I should go out is maybe scout the neighborhood and see what's happened to people's homes who live down there. If they're afraid to go, maybe I can go and check for them.
It's not a bad idea. Look, I'll have words. Rooms in this inn ain't gonna be on any sort of tariff for a minute. I know that much.
Yeah.
But you be careful. You go running out there and then coming back reporting to all those families that their house ain't there anymore. They're not going to be thankful to you. Every time they see you walking the street, they'll remember that news you gave them.
I think it's prudent then to be, let's say, quiet about the inquiries I make initially, but perhaps there's some belongings they might want, that they might value, perhaps even more than the house itself. Something like that could be retrieved. What's it been? Have you been outside yet today?
Took a walk. Early hours when you lot were sleeping. It's quieting down. Found a group of flintlocks. Strung up one of them smaller metal creatures for target practice. People are angry.
What about opportunism? Do we have people looking out for each other? Or have any opportunists started to investigate the rubble?
It's hard to tell. But I've read all these books. I ain't found one yet that has any idea on how to deal with the human condition. I tell you, out there right now, there'll be a bunch of people like you, doing their best, wanting to help out the community. There'll be people saying hello to people they've walked past for years for the first time today. It'll be lovely and very wholesome. But for every 10 of them, there'll be one little fucker who'll see something shiny. Who'll claim that that was his house because he knows the inhabitants of which are dead. There'll be people looting shops that don't have an owner to look after them. Hell, there's some factories today that are closed down for the day. Wouldn't be surprised if some of their stock don't go walking. You will see the whole fucking tapestry out there right now. But I'm being a miserable fucker about it. Look, we'll do what we can in here. And you can go out and do what you can, but we're just normal folk. We can do bits, we can do good, but we've got to survive as well. You were out there fighting last night, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you stopped to think about the state of any of your hidey holes? State your friends? I don't know if you've even got any family left in the city. You don't talk about them.
I know my friends will be all right, but it's probably time I went to find them. And perhaps I can take a walk around the neighbourhood while I'm there and get a sense of what's happening. And if there's a way that I can, let's say, galvanise those people who look a bit wayward, lost, or whatever, then maybe I will intervene. But for now, I think you're right. It's best to survey, see what's happened, and I can report back. If you can find space for a few of the families downstairs, upstairs, that would be good.
I'll go ask them their addresses. I'll hand out based on need. He dusts himself off, makes his way out. You are on your own. Where are you heading?
Yeah, I'll drink up the rest of the coffee and just look around the room again, as if to sort of reconcile the fact that the library has started to kind of look almost to how it usually does, but knowing then that just beyond the walls everything is radically different. So I walk out, closing the door behind me, maybe locking it, and I stride out across the barroom floor, just starting to see maybe some stragglers come in and maybe bewildered order a drink because they don't know what else to do. And I walk out into the street and I look left, right, forward. What do I see?
Give me a perception check.
That's 21.
There is the street the copper house was on is in a weird middle state. You know, whenever they discuss the effects of like a nuclear bomb, and I'll show you the map with the different rings. You've kind of had that through Beormingas. Rather than rings, it's 3 sort of lines that track up the city. In the center line is where the Style Men and Style Kobolds were dropped. The damage there is where they have dropped through buildings, set fire to things in their fighting, where laser fires hit things. Then there's the middle band, which you're currently in, which sits between where the Style creatures landed and where the artillery cannons were hitting. It's not as damaged, but it's had impacts from both. Fires have spread into some areas, the Style creatures have spread into others. The street you're on, it is only on the left-hand side at the end of the street where you can see that a grocer's that stood on the corner there before has burnt down. As you approach, you can see that there are a couple of kids dressed in little more than rags who are picking through some broken and smashed crates. They draw out a couple of apples that are not too bruised. Another has found a cauliflower that is only slightly singed. From your perception check, you can tell they're probably grabbing the last of the food that's in here. One of them spots you, and with a quick hissed warning to the others that you recognize as Feascant, tells them to scarper and also makes a run in for himself. As they go, you can see a slight trail of blood from one that first spotted you, who has barefooted trodden on something that's left the sole of their foot bleeding. It is quickly washed away by the rain. To the right, from the copper house where you were first looking out, is where the style creatures were attacking. Down that road there are some holes in some of the houses, some areas where some of the stone and masonry has given way. There are also bodies in the street. There is a small team. You recognize them as clerics of Morsmall, moving from body to body, laying them out slightly more peacefully, but still unable to take them anywhere. You suspect that, in all likelihood, a horse-drawn cart will be along to collect as many as possible in the near future. It's not an overwhelming amount of bodies, but there must be about 10 or so on the street alone. You hear suddenly a cry for help and spot down the road again a small church steeple, only about 40 foot high or so, which is currently beginning to topple. There's a group of men underneath who have clearly been trying to work on it, trying to bolster it up with various different bits of timber. But with another rumble up above, a thunder, some stone begins to slip and fall, the rain making their task near impossible. There's a cry of, "Get away!" And you watch as the men begin to run. One runs, trips, falls, as a stone clatters near his head. You're close enough to try and help if you want, but it will be a dex save.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That's 18.
18. You dash in. The young man is barely 17 at that, with a peach fuzz mustache, slightly stained by the dirt on the floor from where he's fallen over. You grab him by the arm, drag him out of the way, being sensible enough to just move sideways rather than try and run along the length of the steeple, as more bricks begin to fall, smashing into the ground and breaking where the young man's head just was, as one of the walls of his tower slumps down. It's a slow, undramatic, and just underwhelming destruction of a building as you watch as bits of wood and things inside fall out and tumble, some of the other walls groan. And the men around hang their heads and kick up the dirt and curse. There's not much else to be done right now.
I'll talk to that group. Does any of you lads know how to make soup?
Make soup? What do you mean, fella?
If you know how to make soup, go down to the copper house down the road. Tell them Gogo sent you.
Shouldn't we work on this? It's the temple. We gotta. There's a clear, just sort of shock that has taken over these men. They are, at a glance, all fairly big and burly and are struggling a bit with the idea of being basically impotent in this circumstance.
I'll say, lads, what's the temple for? It's space for sanctuary, for caring for the community, for sharing. This building, it's unfit right now. We'll get it back together, but right now there's kids on the street. There's no food. There's people in the copper house. They've lost their homes. If you really want to help, if you want to find something to do, grab a table, bring it out the front of the copper house, get some soup, start giving it out. What else have we got? What else have we got right now?
Give
There's
a
supplies in the back.
persuasion roll.
11.
With an 11, they seem sort of, unmotivated in any real direction. Not just to follow your suggestion, but to do anything. One, however, looks down. He's a larger build than the rest. Just, yeah, I could use something to eat. I think there's a crate or something in there. I'll see if I can fish it out, fellas. You get down the bar. I'll have a bitter. And he makes his way into the rubble, pulling out a crate with some vegetables, some produce in, finding some more bits from around the little kitchen in the temple. As you watch on, you sense a presence by your side. Thank you for Isaac. You'll be quite the useful addition, I believe. He's got a lot of potential, that boy. Your hand begins to burn a little.
And I turn around. What do I see?
You see a man with a red right hand. He's translucent, not fully there. You have an immediate instinct that you're the only one who can see him right now. He looks over the streets with what looks to be a proud look on his face. Give me a quick perception or insight check.
Yeah, that's 18.
18. There is something. The time you saw him before was in that temple. It was dark, it was confusing. In the light on the street, his face is still nothing special. There's still nothing immediate that you would describe him with. He is tall and slightly slim, but he's got brown hair and brown eyes. The way he holds himself, though, despite the accent, despite the look of him, there's the bearing of someone of the upper classes. There's a slight bearing of nobility.
Well, I wouldn't actually know Isaac as the boy, would I?
No.
Yeah, so I'll say, what do you mean, thank you for Isaac?
The young lad. The one you sent to me. Hang on, why am I losing my accent? It's my own accent. There we are. The one you sent my way last night. You didn't want to watch him die. Ringing any bells?
The boy.
That's how you refer to him. Yeah. Fighting lad. From the streets.
What did you say? Thank you. Thank you for him. He'll prove useful. Useful to what? Useful to who?
To me. To my ends. It's nice to have people I can call upon for a favour. People who are skilled, like yourself. If I needed something retrieved from a heavily locked and guarded building, I'd call you. If I need someone's jaw broken, I can call the boy. I ain't got much time today. Big day. A lot going on for me today. And in all honesty, last night, I mean, you're lucky I had time. I was going from place to place. A lot of deals made. But I saved your boy. And, well, you've got another member of a Red Hand gang.
You don't seem very troubled by all this devastation that surrounds us here. You seem, let's say, maybe you could say slightly content.
What's that old phrase? You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. There's a lot of destruction around here today. That is true. That is true. I mean, it's nothing compared to what we went through in the war. There's not a scratch on that. And yeah, it's unfortunate, but there's heroes like you about. From what I heard, something magical stopped the whole thing from falling on the city. Imagine how many would have died then. But still, big day. Big, big day. And I wanted to say thank you properly. You were out last night, weren't you? Scrapping, fighting, doing your bit. What do you use?
What do you mean? What do I use?
Weapons? You're a bit too slim to be going in with just your fists, mate.
Well, short bow initially, until I snapped the bloody thing. And then the rapier.
That won't do at all. You still got the bits on you?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Sort of gingerly kind of take a step back, put kind of hands to kind of hold them out.
He takes the pieces of the short bow, holds them together, passes the red hand over. You see it glow, and you see the whole bow begin to glow. That should do you a bit better. Consider it a thank you. Why's he going Irish? It's because the other evil bastard I was voicing the other day was Irish. Not evil. Just, mysterious. Should do you a bit better. And it shouldn't break anywhere near as easily. I'm not against you. We're all on the same side.
I don't take, let's say, accusations of heroism very lightly. I don't consider myself such a thing. But one thing that heroes are is that I think they are discerning in what calls they respond to. I still don't quite know what it is you want.
How do I put this? I want to make amends for a mistake I made that harmed a lot of people. I want to give those people, those ordinary people of Offerville, a second chance. Now, you know as well as I do that giving anyone not born with a silver spoon in their mouth a chance in this world requires getting your hands dirty. I I don't want to go into all of it. Partially shame, and partially because I'm not sure you'd fully comprehend. So, you taking this gift?
I reach out and take it and look at it closely. What does it look like? What is it made of now? Or?
It looks a lot the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's where his hand passed over that the wood has darkened into scarlet and almost looks like a burn that spreads around where the crack was. However, rather than the wood being charcoaled, it looks glossy, reinforced. The bow also crackles slightly. You can feel the enchantment on it. It is a +1 short bow now.
Are these changes visible?
On the bow, yes.
Just above table, it was actually a +1 short bow before.
Was it? And I wouldn't have made it break.
Can it
Oh,
be
no.
can it
Cool,
be
+2, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sick. Okay, deadly. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually pretty pleased with that.
Ooh, actually, I'm going to change it from being a +2. Keep it as a +1.
Yeah.
I'm going to add instead a new ability this bow has.
Mm-hmm.
If it reduces any enemy to 10 hit points or less, it will instantly kill them.
Okay. What is that? What is that called? A short bow of something? Or?
No, this is me making it up because
sure,
I'm just like, oh, that's cool, that'll
That's
work.
yeah, and it's very thematic as well. That's super cool. Okay.
Let you guys discuss that for a moment. I'm just going to go to the toilet.
When did you leave us in the fight? You were fighting with us around
It was at the end of the street fight where we had all the barrels and stuff like that. And I think
Fair enough. So we finished that because then we moved on and we went into a house and managed to save a kid and the parents, but you weren't there for that. So, but you were with us for that initial fight. I'm pretty sure that Annika was also there when you broke the bow.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to have some explaining to do.
Yeah.
I've got a 23 fucking passive perception. You ain't getting shit past me.
Are skill checks ability checks rules-wise?
Ability checks 10. Yeah, technically, if you're doing a straight ability check, it will be these ones up here because it's just your basic modifier.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something that is specifically a skill, it will be one of those, and they are obviously tied to the attributes of your abilities.
Because, like, if I get an item that adds a +1 to all ability checks, is that a +1 to all skill checks as well?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. What's the item?
It'd be a Stone of Good Luck.
I'm pretty sure that counts.
Did you get a Stone of Good Luck?
No, but I can. If I've unlocked a thing at this level where if I give up a 3rd level spell slot, I sort of put a 3rd level spell slot into an object and it makes it into a magic item. It's one of my cast things, and one of the things I can make is a Stone of Good Luck. It's
fuck me. You can add it to your initiative as well.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes. So it's basically just a flat +1 to almost everything. Just
How long does it last for?
It's when it's on my person, it gives me that.
Oh, really? And how
How many of those can you make?
At the minute, I could make 2, but then I wouldn't have any 3rd level spell slots.
Because it takes a 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah, it takes a 3rd level or higher spell slot, basically. I can make.
What are the 3rd level things that are specific to witches, anyway?
Well,
because I don't know your spell list at all.
3rd level. I mean, spells is. I'm trying to think. What are my 3rd level? The 3rd level spells I get Bestow Curse, Clairvoyance, Counterspell.
Bestow Curse is a nice one.
Yeah, Create Poppet, which is like a sort of
or like a little dog.
It's like a healing support kind of thing.
Spell magic with
Can we, for that homebrew short bow?
Yep.
I was thinking we call it like short bow of rending.
Swine.
Yeah, I like that.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Okay,
it's a
cool.
bit like polygons.
Just so I actually can like kind of list it here.
Yes,
So
yes,
that I
yes.
That'd be nice.
Remind myself of
Tiny
the-
Hut is more utilitarian.
Yeah.
You can cast it as a ritual.
Yeah, tongues is like just languages.
Yeah, speaking. Well, comprehend languages is you reading languages. Tongues is the ability to speak and also comprehend
Yeah.
heard languages.
Yeah.
Does that mean that if they were on 8 HP and I knocked them down to like 4, would they just be dead? Or
if they're on 11 and you hit them for 1 and it takes them to 10, they die.
Yeah.
I would ask you this as well. If a magic item gives a +1 bonus to ability checks,
Yes.
is that a +1 bonus to skill checks as well?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, as long as it's that relevant thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm thinking about making myself a luck stone.
Yeah, I thought so, because, the luck stone is really fucking good.
Because that means you get a plus to all of your attack rolls as well.
+1
right?
to everything.
It's just it's basically just a +1 to any, which is good.
But not your spell save DC, I don't think.
No.
It's just
No,
ability
it's
checks.
just
it's
D20
it's-
rolls.
I mean,
You
that's
just
still
think that
pretty fucking nice because it means you can add it to your initiative as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's either that very practical, useful thing, or I get a flying broom.
I mean, that could also be useful
Yeah.
because if you have ranged attacks or if somebody else has ranged
Yeah.
attacks, then it gets you out of.
Yeah, I've also got a lot of ranged like support and debuff stuff as well. So
The only thing is, if you hit 0 and you're flying, instant death save.
yeah,
Would it be a single death save or 2 death saves if you fall? If you take falling
I
damage?
suppose it depends how far you fall.
I'd make it a single, unless you're falling from a really high height,
Yeah,
because the 2 death saves specifically applies to
melee.
attacks, because they crit and then they do 2. But that's the weird thing of if you're downed, unconscious, then you're probably prone, which means a ranged attack would be at disadvantage, and if it hit, would only do the 1 death save.
That makes sense.
As you look upon your new, more fixed bow, the figure has gone, but you do just hear. I really can't find Birmingham in my voice today. It's really weird. It's because I'm so used to being Rob at Bridge Command, who's just big, broad, black country. It's actually, I need to focus more on finding, there we go, a Birmingham accent. You just hear your friends on the outskirts of the city. You should find them before they move on.
What outskirts?
Follow your nose. Follow the smoke. Follow your hand. You are alone, holding your bow out to no one in particular.
I look down at the red hand and up and down the street again and look up. Where do I see the smoke?
You can still see a large plume of smoke. It is a distance away, but you know the smoke towers of the city. And this is on the other side of all. Towards where the fucking academy is, but the name always fucking escapes me. Valeris, that's for one. Why? Why is that the name that I can never remember? Beyond the Valeris Academy, past the city. It'll take a bit of time to walk there, but you might be able to do some good on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where you're heading?
Yeah.
Annika and Flint. Obviously, last session we sort of fast forwarded to you guys being on the edge of the city. Would you like to start off from there? Or would you like to see any of the morning beforehand?
Did you sleep at the temple? At Vitracta's temple? Or Yalvric's temple? Yeah, I think you went off. Cool. In that case, if I was alone, so to speak, before we headed to the outskirts of the city, I would probably go to a certain tiefling undertaker's and make sure that it's still there. She's not going to go close to it. She doesn't want to see them, but she wants to make sure her parents are okay.
Fabulous. Whereabouts in the city, and I was reading over your backstory again earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's terrifying. Don't say that. No! Well, I suppose they would kind of be lower middle class, which means that they would be kind of catering as undertakers to the kind of comfortable middle class, maybe upper class if possible. I mean, that's certainly where Annika's father would be aiming for, is kind of the slightly richer clientele. So I gather that mourning was kind of, certainly a thing in Victorian Britain. I mean,
yeah, they were kind of into it.
Exactly. In essence, I kind of based Annika's parents on the Sowerberries from Oliver.
From the what, sorry?
The Sowerberries from Oliver, the Undertaker.
I'm good, thank you.
Not very nice.
Well, not necessarily not very nice, but certainly more interested in all that they can get, from a grieving wealthy family, so to speak. It's all about show to them. So yeah, she would swing by and make sure that it's all Undertakers is still standing.
You head towards the area I still haven't found our name of, which is the Aston area, where Valeris is, but where the surrounding shops are a bit nicer. It's where Gogo and the boy headed to when they were doing their little bit of robbery a couple of days and several sessions ago. And this Mortician's does lie in one of those streets with slightly nicer shops that have little flats above them where the shopkeepers live. You find yourself at the top of the street. You can't quite make out the Morticians from here, and begrudgingly make your way slightly further down, just until you can get a glimpse. Make me a wisdom save.
Oh, shit. A save. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's get some. Can someone chuck me a dice tower? This is a +8. How bad could it go? Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. That is a 13 +8, so that is a 21.
Very nice.
Fantastic. You hear, but are not compelled by, a voice that sort of appears in your mind without seemingly passing through your ears first. Come back. Come back. You're strong. You can pry it open. Let me. And then it fades, as you're able to find the resilience to push it away.
Do I get the impression that it's coming from the basement?
Not quite. Give me an insight check.
So it's also a +8, so let's fucking do this. It is fun.
Yeah.
It is. You played a night song earlier. That is a 6 +8, so not quite as good.
14. It's not from the basement. And it confuses you. Because it instead feels like it came from within yourself. There's a hand on your shoulder and a small face peeks around to you. It is a hooded figure. They are fairly slender. In fact, they look half-starved and their eyes are deep set into their heads with heavy bags underneath. Salbrin? You are Salbrin, yes.
Who the fuck wants to know?
You have the staff. We have meeting today. While I've distracted.
What the fuck are you on about, mate?
No. And he pushes you away with more strength than you expect this skinny figure to have and makes their way down the street. You see them not enter your family's morticians, but glance up at it, hesitate for a moment, and then hurry on down the road.
So what did they say? Something about Salbrin, you have the staff, there's a meeting today? Was that what they
That's
said?
roughly what you picked up, yeah?
Okay. Do I see where they're heading down the street?
You can just about make out the way they're going. To see where they're going to end up, you're going to have to go past your parents.
I'm going to run for it.
Cool.
I'm going to try and hide my face, but I'm going to go for it.
Cool.
Do I have anything to hide my face? Let me just check it. False life. I thought I had a disguised self, but I don't think I do. Never mind. I'm just going to bolt.
Cool. What's your passive perception?
23.
23. Fabulous.
Try
As
and hold
you
the staff to still the bells as I'm going.
run past trying to hold the staff, trying to still the bells, there's a bit of you that can't help but glimpse towards the morticians.
Mm.
And you glimpse just a beat late to look at it over your shoulder. But as you do so, it means your eye catches down the alley that runs alongside it. You see a group of figures carrying a small bundle into a side door. Your quarry is making their way down the street still, walking at a fast pace. You'd be able to catch up with them pretty quickly.
I'm going to go for them.
Cool. As you catch up to them, they do not hear you coming. So you're able to sort of round on them and however you're going to approach.
Is there an alleyway nearby?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's Beormingas.
Just
a lot of them. It's the general vibe.
I'm going to try and grab them by the collar or the lapels or whatever it is on the cloak that I can grab hold of, like around the neck to stop them escaping, and I'm going to try and drag them into the alley.
Cool. Give me a grapple check. That is a athletics check on your part.
That's real shit. It's like a -1. Oh, shit. What the fuck is that? That's a 3.
-1 for a 2. They also rolled a 2, so meets it, beats it, and they're able to break away. You catch a hold of like the collar of their thing. They scratch at your hand with a ferocity that you're not expecting. It makes you sort of move back for a second. They break away, dashing through the streets and now pushing people out the way quite forcefully to make a distraction. People turn and try to see what's going on. Are you going to keep giving chase?
I'm going to shout at the top of my lungs, "That little fuck's got my purse!" and point after them.
Cool, give me a persuasion check.
I really don't think I'm very good. This is a +1, so that's something. I'm not very charismatic. Fuck me, that's a 2.
The people milling about are either busy or saw you run up to them and grab them first. And no aid seems to be coming.
I'm going to keep pursuing. I'm going to go after them.
Cool. Give me a Constitution save to
This is a +1.
find the stamina.
Yeah. Fuck! That was a 2 again.
Is that dice weighted?
I don't know.
In that case, you try following them, but pretty soon, the night before, the staff that you're holding, the people that they're shoving who then get in your way, who you then have to dance around to try and get past, you just lose sight of them completely. Give me a investigation check, or no, a survival check to try and track them.
Let me just see what my survival is. Okay, my survival's a +5. It's a lot better than a minus. We'll take it. And that's a 17 +5. Now we're fucking getting somewhere. Motherfucker. So that's what, 22?
22. Okay. You are able to find both some muddy footprints they've left, but after a while that gets mixed into the general muck on the streets. And you think back to your recent adventures. Put yourself in the mind space of where would you go hide? You find another alleyway. You have to double back on yourself a bit to get there, but it would make sense. You wouldn't think to look down there unless you'd been hanging around with the likes of Gogo and learnt those ways. As you get to the edge of the alleyway, you can hear a hissing breathing coming from down the alleyway. Do you want to try and sneak down here and not be seen?
Let me see if I've got anything that I can catch this little shit with. Not that isn't going to kill him. Is there an exit to this alley? Is it a dead end or is it a throughway?
So it's a dead end. It's fine.
Cool. I'm going to try and sneak. I'm going to try and put this little shit not on guard.
Roll me a stealth check.
It's a +3. Oh, that is a 19. Now we're fucking getting somewhere.
Nice. They do not hear you as you creep down the alleyway towards you. They've got your back to you. They're back to the street, and you can hear them whispering and mumbling. I have failed you. I have failed you. Please, please, take this sacrifice. Find it in yourself to forgive me. Give me a new face so I may continue your work. As you get closer, you can see blood dripping down to their knees where they are now kneeling on the floor.
Oh, shit. This is self-inflicted.
Hear a gasp as they give a short cry of pain, biting it down again. They've still got their back to you. You can see they're holding something near to their neck.
So they haven't heard me approach.
They haven't heard you approach. They are
Can
doing
I go for
something.
it and try and hold it away from them?
Sure. Make me another athletics check, because this is a grapple.
Yeah, baby. It's an 18 -1. That's not fucking bad.
Nice. Oh, that's a nat 20. Holy shit.
Fuck me! No!
They sense you at the last moment. Spin away, still sort of keeping themselves away from you. But you hear them curse. Just, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? They turn, lunge, and are going to try and take an attack at you with this knife. It's a 7 on the dice. I don't know what their plus is. It fails, but as they turn, you see they've been cutting the skin off their face.
Oh my God.
Half the skin peels away, and you can see blood and musculature underneath as they take this wild swing at you. As it misses, they realize they're backed into the alleyway and are hyperventilating, swinging the knife wildly at you like an animal backed into a corner. The blood is still pouring down their face, and just completely, the robe is just now sopping underneath them with blood.
I'm going to hold out a hand and say, give me the fucking knife. I can do something about this. I can help. Just give me the knife, and we can sit down and have a nice little chat.
As they swing the knife once more, you see the idea enter their mind, and you've got a chance to try and stop them from plunging the blade into their own neck.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and stop them.
Make me a dex save.
This is a +3. 16 + 3. Could have been a lot worse.
Fabulous. You're able to grab the knife. It's hovering a millimeter away from their jugular. They're cursing at you, spitting blood and spittle just hitting your face as they just keep cursing. You've got to try and hold it there as they're trying to move this knife in, but they aren't particularly strong. What are you going to do?
I kind of need to get this knife away from them, otherwise this is going to keep happening. If they're not particularly strong, if I've got them with one hand, could I drop the staff and try and wrench it out with the other in the movement to throw it away from them?
Yeah, sure. Another athletics check, I think, for that too.
-1. Don't fuck me now. It's an 11.
11.
Could have been worse.
Cool. So is that 12 on the dice for an 11?
Yeah, -1.
They get a 10. You're able to wrench the knife away, toss it aside. They press themselves against the wall now, looking at you. They look more scared of you than of what they've just been doing to themselves.
Okay, well, do I still have their hand in or their wrist in my other?
Yeah, sure.
That means I've got contact with them. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Okay.
That is 2d8
As you cast that,
5.
make me a religion check.
Ooh. +3. That's a nat fucking 1, that is.
They're going to do the same with a nat 20.
Oh my God!
As you try to put this divine magic into them, it bounces back into you. You take 4 points of radiant damage as the magic is blasted back into you. Give me a perception check in this moment to hear what they whisper.
That is a 16 on the dice with a +8. So pretty fucking high.
Tiamat, forgive me. And they burst into flames.
Oh,
Their
fuck.
whole body burning up. They collapse in front of you and fall down.
Is there a body left? Fuck.
There is a body left and it will be burning for a while.
Shit. Do I see that is it burning with like divine fire or is it just like literal fire?
No, it's like greenish, purplish flames.
Oh, okay.
Avocado.
Fucking vegans, fucking Zoomers coming in here with their fucking avocados.
Do I understand what just happened? Do I know that this person was undead and that's why the healing magic didn't work?
Oh, they weren't undead. There's none of your divine senses giving out undead. There's none of that. You do not have any more information than what just happened in front of you.
Fuck. Oh, God darn it. And I've got no way to put out the flames. I'm just going to bolt. I'm just going to run.
Cool. Make me a stealth check to not be seen as you run.
+3.
We're just doing dark, scary backstory shit today. That's the vibes.
That was a 3 + 3. That was fucking awful. That's a 6.
Cool. You stagger out of there. You are confused, scared, in shock, bumbling through. People might have seen you. People might not. You're not even aware enough to know what to fucking do. You have encountered something that goes against pretty much every tenet of your religion and has done so in a shockingly short amount of time. You make your way through the streets. It's probably time to try and find your friends.
I think it is.
Flint.
Hello.
Actually, do I need that thing?
Oh, yes.
Just all the way that way.
Oh, there's one that way on this end. But the urinals are like not working, so use the toilets and the cubicles.
They are filling up.
Yeah, there's some puddles of piss.
You really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not flushing for some reason.
It's. Hey, Lashonda, if you're listening to this, enjoy the puddles of piss. I really have gone more radio drama for tonight's session. So, Flint.
Hello.
You awaken in your own bed.
Thank God.
For the first time in a couple of days. It is nice to be here. And there is a blissful first moment before sounds properly reach you, before you're really, truly conscious in the world. But for a moment, last night feels like a bad dream. The past couple of nights and days feel like a bad dream. Maybe it's the last whispers of a dream holding onto your mind, but there's part of you that almost believes for a moment that you're waking up at your father's house in Petton. You then hear the snoring. It is one of the guests who is also using your room as a bedding area. They're on the floor, but there isn't much space in this little house of yours, and it has turned into something of a community hub. You're able to carefully pick around them and find your things as you make your way downstairs. There are still more people about. It feels slightly strange. Your personal space has always been slightly open because of the nature of the work you do, but to have none of it available to be your space is discomforting. Amongst it all, you can spot Steele, who is in the lap of a little girl who is feeding him some baby carrots. He sat there, ears back, being very cute and very adorable, gently nibbling at the carrots as they are given to him.
The beast is tame.
He catches your eye and gives a wink as he just continues to nibble gently. You hear in your mind, "Morning."
Morning.
How are you feeling?
Fine.
Okay. Are you good with languages?
Speak about 3 of them, yeah.
What about the goblin ones?
Not really.
You good at sort of universal like sign language, like charades?
I mean,
So I can't concentrate with fucking Skyrim.
Yeah.
Fucking Dovahkiin.
I've picked up a bit of that kind of thing, treating people, but I don't know how much I'd be able to recall.
Well, me and old Shrapnel Toenails have got everything in hand here. Stick your hat on, go outside. And trust me, stick your hat on. Oh, yeah, another one. Oh,
Jammy little fucker.
I'm gonna just like.
Oh, and I can't come with you, obviously, because I'm now a therapy animal.
Right. I thank you for your noble. I thank you for your nobility.
Oh, no worries. But well, if I must have it soothes her to see me well fed and happy.
It's going to be a fucking golf ball by the time it's finished.
Does Steel gain a rolling speed at a certain point?
That is actually a hilarious idea. Every time you guys level up, he just gets a bit fatter.
He just becomes that one rabbit in every group of rabbits. It's just the fucking huge one.
There's always one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Flint's gonna like just sort of go to the kitchen, pull out a jar of something dried, and just like eat a handful of it, and just be like, "Well, that's my breakfast." And then find a hat and a coat, and go outside.
Cool. You step out. The sun is a bit bright, and although you've tried to keep your little cottage clean and not going into all of the stereotypes of a witch's home, not letting in much natural light just seems to have come naturally to the place. You blink it back and immediately wish that you hadn't breathed in so deeply. There is the smell of stale sewage, and it doesn't take long to find where it's coming from. A street over, there has been a blast that hasn't taken out any of the houses, but did burrow into the street and has damaged the sewers in this part of the city. There's not a full sewage network as we would know it today, but there are some tunnels under the city for moving sluice. There are some drains in the streets to just try and keep the stuff that people check out the windows moving somewhere. This piece of road has fallen in, and the sewer below is not only letting out its stench, but you can see a hodgepodge of wooden, but also slightly constructed out of bone ladders, various different tents of different size and smell and number of holes in the tarpaulin, and a small band of goblins who are pulling themselves out of the sewers, brushing themselves off and squinting at the above world. One of them spots you and turns to the others, gives a walks over to you, sticks his hands on his hips, brushes his nose.
Morning. I'm going to ask in each of the respective languages if they speak Dwarvish or Elvish at all.
The goblin keeps looking at you, squinting.
I'll just say what seems to be the problem.
Throws up its hands. It shouts back to the goblins watching. There's a bit of chatter between them for a bit. The goblin turns back, marches back to the others. There's a quick debate. Some voices get fairly loud and heated. One punches another goblin, the other kicks another in the gonads. A larger one steps in between them. There's some shuffly eyes. One who'd spoken to you shrugs down. A couple of goblins split off, go down these rickshaw ladders into the sewers. You hear some shouting. Eventually, another goblin emerges. This one is slightly taller and skinnier than the others. It doesn't have the pot belly a lot of the rest of them has. Its hair is sort of blonde, strangely like platinum blonde for a goblin, and comes down in long curtains that sort of barely let its eyes peek out, framing this bony, ugly face. But this is topped by a red jester's cap. It comes out using a stick, hobbles on over to you. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, we both have hats.
What's your AC?
17.
Cool. It swings at you twice with its stick. You move out the way both times. And is going to swing again and then stop and gently tap you with the end of the stick. Can you understand me now?
Yes.
Right, there we go. Not much of a witch, is you? Right. We are in a bit of shit. Well, we're not in a bit of shit.
That,
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
What would you like me to do?
You's a witch, ain't you?
Yes.
Right. How long you been witching for?
I suppose it depends on how one defines the sort of.
Oh God, he's a green. Right. So, as a, I normally would say matron of a peculiar or mistress of the other, but in your case, as one of the ones with the pointy hats. They ain't the fat ones in the sparkly robes. You have a duty to keep the peace. It's sort of an honourable tradition thing. Like I, as a Nilbog, have a duty to be weirder than the other goblins and stay in a cage most of the time.
Right. So, would you like me to help with the collapsed road?
So, yes, when something like this happens and our life interrupts your up here life, you're meant to be the one to either give us safe passage or help us get out from under your noses type thing.
Right. Take me through the events. What happened?
Well,
how long ago did this happen? Sorry.
Sometime last night.
Okay.
We had a nice little village right under this road here, see?
Right.
And it's blocked passage to a lot of the other sewers.
Okay. Where would you... Is there any way you lot are trying to get to, or I can help you get to?
No, we live here. What are you talking about?
Well, as a sort of temporary thing, as
Oh, yeah, we know loads of places around the city. We're sewer-dwelling goblins. We're men about town. We've got loads of friends in high places who could give us a favour, yeah.
Well,
I didn't cast comprehend sarcasm. Did you get that?
yeah, I got
Okay.
that. Right. So, ideal world, you want the road repaired and things to go back to how they were.
Ideal world, yeah.
All right. Is there anyone causing problems?
We ain't been up here for that long. We haven't had a chance.
I meant any of us lot causing problems for you, but
Oh, there's a couple of lucky loos looking about, but some of the lads have brought up some stink bombs and scared him off a bit.
well, it seems like you guys can take care of that kind of thing yourselves. All right. Okay, I'll come and have a look. I'll see what I can do.
Cool.
I'm going to go over closer to the hole, holding my nose.
Give me a perception check.
$18.
18. With an 18, you peer down inside and can see the remains of a sort of shanty town. They have built little dams to let the sluice and sewage move around their tents, move around their stuff. There are little bridges composed of similar like wood and string and bone sets of materials, anything they can find. You can't see under the rubble, but it's clear that there was some tents, some things underneath, some areas where people were living. You can see a couple of bodies already bloating, lying amongst or floating amongst the rest. What strikes you is that you don't really think that anyone or anything should have to live like this. Goblinkin are, however, unlike kobolds, a race that has never managed to make good in most of the human books in Offervin. They are still considered dangerous, dirty, thieving. All things which most goblins would proudly say that they are. However, it means no quarter is usually spared for them.
All right. Tell you what. I'll come down, see what I can do to mitigate the immediate damage, and then I know some people who can help. Hopefully. See if anyone's injured down here.
Okay, yeah, we've lost a couple. So you can help with the road or just help with us?
I can definitely help with you now, and I'll pull some strings and see what I can do.
Yeah, that's when we trust riches. You always knows people, don't you? You've always got. And you watch the goblin stiffen slightly as he looks behind you, and you see your mother approaching.
Oh shit!
Hell.
Althea
Oh,
walks
no.
amongst the street as if she levitates slightly above it. You are aware that she could levitate slightly above it, but she has always told you to be careful exhibiting magical prowess around those who might try and steal it from you due to their lack of understanding. She sneers down at the goblin and looks to you.
Hello.
Keeping fine company, I see.
What's it to you?
I thought I would check in. The council had been summoned. It was considered that I should look in on the city. And I thought I would see if you are well and alive. It is a mother's duty.
Well, I sort of vaguely gesture at myself.
You're keeping well.
Well, as well as one can.
Making contacts in the city, I see. Is it the beginning of a political campaign I smell for you? I saw your article with Nola Corbeld, quite chummy with the mayor.
I saved a child. How people choose to react to that is their business.
You didn't see an opportunity,
I saw an opportunity to help someone.
and then when you found out the child was the child of the mayor's,
I found out at the same time that the mayor came to me. I didn't.
yes, and you can then utilize that.
Are you saying that that's what you want me to do, or are you saying that you disapprove of that?
I'm saying, Fenelon, that you are from a line of spectacular lineage. You have,
Yes, I agree. I come from a long line of very good furniture makers.
despite your stubbornness and your infatuation with lesser forms of magic, and she glances at the hat, still shown quite some promise. I would hate for you to waste your, what will be a very long life, dwelling among the rats and their ilk. And she looks at the goblin, who backs up a bit more. Nilbog, thank you. I've got an important place in society. So do diseases. Do you want to accompany me
Where?
into the city? I have meetings. I shall be speaking to the mayor. I shall be speaking to Lord Greyhollow. The people who are called in times like this, such as myself. People who make a difference, Fenelon. Or stay here and play among the shit, see if I care.
Well, I was going to go and talk to the mayor anyway, so fine.
Very good. I'm sorry, little creature, but my son and I...
He has a name.
Oh, did you learn it?
I'm sure he can enlighten you.
My name is, my name is, you can call me Runny, for short. Delightful. Do you have any cleaner clothes?
I look down with the air of, what the fuck's wrong with what I'm wearing?
She casts prestidigitation and cleans you up. She casts mending and fixes any holes and areas where your coat has taken damage over the years, even though she knows you are quite proud of where the wear and tear has been. I've got a carriage waiting.
I'll walk it.
Of course. Have you still not made yourself a broom?
Thinking about it. I've only recently been able to, so...
Fenelon, I've tried to tell you 100 times. Your first impressions count. comes swooping down from the skies on a cleaning instrument, and people will think you're a servant with ideas above their station. Step out of a gleaming carriage and they'll know you're in charge. But I'll see you there. Don't let your boots get too dirty. And they sweep back away.
Right. Okay, Ronnie. Anyone injured?
Yeah, sorry. We've got a couple. Bring them up, boys. There are a couple of goblins hauled to the surface. There are a couple of older ones and a couple of younger ones. They've all got breaks in either their knees or arms or have cuts that are bleeding.
Any of the sort of more minor injuries, I'll kind of tend to physically, just taking small bits of bandage or gauze and just sort of patching them up as best I can to let them heal as effectively as possible, encouraging them to stay out of the sewage for the minute. I mean, any of the properly serious injuries, I'll do a little cure wounds for.
Mm-hmm.
How many would that be, do you think?
Just for one.
I'll do cure wounds on a broken leg, we'll say.
Look, we're sorry to be a problem. We didn't know you were fancy. Is there anywhere you know where we could stay? The kids are scared of going back down in Mule.
That's fair. I can't promise people will want you in their homes. You can maybe bed up in my living room. I prefer if it was kept clean, not to be, but and I can't promise that people will let you stay in the house, but I know there's certainly some people who will help get your tents up and out of here and into the square.
All right. We'll have a look. Thank you.
All right.
With that, you're able to head and meet back up with these two, but I need to go to the...
Me too. Remind me who Fleet's mother is again. What's her title?
She's on the Arcanist
Arcanist
Council. Her name's Althea. It's ALTHAEA, I think. And she's a divination wizard. And she's an absolute ray of sunshine, isn't she?
Absolutely.
That explains a lot. I think with the conversation with your father.
Right. Tea time.
Interesting session.
Yeah. Yes, it's a nice kind of little, just a few little vignettes.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a bit weird doing camera at the minute. It's very timely. So, yeah, it's with the, rise of fascism things.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
It's good. It's very good. It's kind of it's a mixture of because it's set, a lot of it's set in a cabaret club, and then the songs being sung in the cabaret club kind of reflect German society kind of crumbling and becoming sort of taken over by the Nazis. And there's this plot about this writer who comes to Berlin and kind of meets this cabaret singer who becomes slightly infatuated with him. And then his landlady, who's sort of an elderly German woman, falls in love with a Jewish man. And it's kind of it's very because it it does very well in having a lot of really fun songs in the first half, which kind of lull you into a false sense of security, and then you get that kind of payoff in the second act where they're kind of reflected and suddenly die.
A real like
it wasn't originated that bad, but it works very well as one. There's lots of kind of, because it's kind of, I mean, it's done as if it were in a club, and yeah, the orchestration lends itself to that. It's a fairly small band, and it's kind of quite jazzy. It's very sort of Carlisle, buzz operator kind of.
I've never seen it, but like I would imagine, from what I know about it, it must be a really enjoyable one to be working on.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's very dark in places as well. It gets quite kind of there's a very good number in the second half called "If You Could See Her."
Are you playing sax or trumpet for it, or what? Singing.
I think I'm doing trumpet. A bit of flugelhorn, which is like a sort of it's like a wider board trumpet, and then I'm doing a bit of tenor alto sax as well.
Swapping around on it.
Yes, quite a lot. But yeah, there's a very good song in the second act called "If You Could See Her," where there's this kind of master of ceremonies character, and he's dancing with a gorilla. And he's sort of singing this song to the audience, kind of saying,
it's the anti-Semitic one, isn't it?
kind of saying, kind of saying like, oh, like I love this gorilla, and like you shouldn't judge me for my life choices, and like, you know, if you could see her through my eyes, you'd fall in love too. And then
sometimes a bear.
It's usually a gorilla, I think. And it's very, very comical the first time you see it, because it's just someone dancing with a gorilla and kind of singing a love song to it, and then right at the end, it's now I understand your objection. I grant you the problem's not small, but if you could see her through my eyes, she wouldn't look Jewish at all. It's very kind, and it's very because it gives you that insight into how people would have viewed that kind of relationship back then, and it's very and a lot of it's kind of those moments where it sort of pulls the rug from under your feet.
It lures you into something, and then
and I Don't Care Much.
Yes, I'm doing I Don't Care Much.
Oh, fuck yes, best song. Which is another of the MC's songs, which just, all of his other songs are big, entertaining numbers that are breaks away from the big main plot. And then you just get this fucking slow ballad that he sings of,
it's really,
I don't care much, go or stay. And it's basically like, in these times, when times get tough, when fascism is on the fucking rise, when everyone's backs against the wall, it's like lips grow cold when the roof came on a windy street, and like it's hard to be loving when things are this hard.
Yeah, because there's a woman gets engaged to a Jewish man, and then as the Nazis kind of rise to power, they call off the engagement, and then at that point, there's the MC kind of comes in with this song, and it's very like, it's kind of it's just very, it talks about kind of falling out of love when you're in poverty and kind of when things are going to shit. So it's very cheery.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about what's happening in Belfast.
Jesus.
So, I think that's actually just really hard, like, to be just reading the news and stuff like that. Not just being a person, just being there.
I mean, I've heard people blaming it on loyalists, but I kind of feel like that's people, I think, trying to put something over it that might not necessarily be there, or trying to assuage their own type against what's happening.
I mean, because that's all my courses from Belfast, and I think, as with some of these things, I think it's maybe slightly more loyalist when you like.
I don't even know what areas they
loyalist
are.
people, but I think the thing is, I do think it's interesting because Joe was saying, actually, interestingly, like sometimes actually there's elements of there's weird pockets of like unity between Protestants and Catholics where they're being united by the fact that they both don't like this other group of people, and it's kind of
that's, if you look at like just the history of sort of like any kind of marginalized or exploited community, they sort of that sort of like punching down kind of happens, and people who are once punching each other then start punching down because a kind of a weird common enemy is formed. Like a kind of a fantasy of a common enemy. Obviously, it's really grim. But in Ireland, even Tommy Robinson, aka Stephen Yaxley Lennon, was shown up in Dublin.
Fucking ponce.
Tommy 10 names.
Yeah, he was shown up in Dublin, and Irish people, Dubliners, were cheering him on. It's like he, just a matter of years ago, what he would have to say about all of you, and now you're cheering him. It's absolutely insane. But even my members of my extended family are being absolutely brainwashed by nonsense, and the amount of it's really weird because since COVID, especially, there was this kind of, it's not to say that the potential is always there, and there's loads of things you can talk about in relation to how kind of mythologies around Irish nationalism are formed over centuries, right, and they can be sort of co-opted in sort of lots of different directions, but the sort of far right seizure of the nationalist rebel and the rebel mentality.
Yeah.
But not the rebel as in, rebel that is, criticizing or intervening in sort of power hierarchies that go up. It's very much pointing down, and that actually somehow asylum seekers are the ones who have the power and working class Irish people don't, which is.
But the thing is, it's this very the very clever thing about fascism is it
appealing.
It appeals to the simplicity. It just says it says these problems aren't structural or kind of complex,
and they're not your
things
fault.
that are to do with society. They're not they're not your fault, and it's someone else's fault. It's something that you can see physically. It's this asylum seeker or this Jewish person and it makes it and it gives people an easy out. It gives people an easy outlet for their anger, and also the media is also to blame because it's every time someone who isn't white does something atrocious, it's
all over the fucking front pages.
It's always Sudanese man or
It was fascinating yesterday. I walked into Sainsbury's and saw 3 different newspapers covering that same story of the Sudanese man attacking the supposedly Irish man. I've heard stories going around that they were both drug friends, that they knew each other beforehand. There's loads of fucking shit coming out. But 2 papers, the fucking Sun and the fucking Star. No, it was the Daily Mail and the Daily Star.
Tales of Breeze.
Had it with the headlines of evil in his eyes, which was a quote from one of the witnesses nearby. And then there was a 3rd paper, and I can't remember who it was, to my shame. Actually might have been the Sun, because it was lower down on the shelf, and the Sun is surprisingly slightly more left than a lot of others, slightly. But they framed it, their headline was Humanity at its Best, because their focus of the story was the guy who stepped in and saved the fucking guy's life.
I didn't realise he'd survived. I thought he'd been killed.
This is it. The other 2 papers did not mention that. And this one was actually, someone stepped in, someone saved him and put themselves in harm's way.
He lost an eye.
Yeah. They were like, this is a wonderful tale of heroism.
No. And it's the same thing with the Henry Novak thing. Is the family of the person, the actual victim, have said we don't want this to sow division and hatred.
Henry Novak's a 2nd-generation immigrant.
Yeah.
You'd think with a name like Nowak,
they would put 2 and 2 together, but he's white, so it don't matter.
I think the other thing is
and also whenever a neo-Nazi or a white criminal kills someone, it's never white man or English man. It's we don't associate that with a group of people, but whenever it's anyone who's a Muslim or anyone foreign or anyone brown, basically.
Did you guys hear the story? There was a case outside of Leicester where there was a children's a youth camp, like a summer camp for disadvantaged kids, and the guy that had been running it for the last 20 years had been drugging them with sweets. None of the papers even fucking mentioned that it was a faith charity. Nowhere at all. I think he got sentenced. I think he got a couple of decades, but That's just frittered away. Like 20 years, children have been drugged and assaulted by somebody, and it's nowhere to be seen. How is that not more news? How is that not more news?
I mean, not to be fatalistic, but I kind of feel like things are going to get a whole lot worse before they get any better. To be honest,
I mean, I kind of feel like we're heading for a reform government.
Yeah. No, I think we're in.
And they've already banned Pride in Havering. They're the only London borough to turn reform. And that's the first fucking thing that they've done, pricks.
We will see. I still maintain that reform are. Like, there's a lot of scary fucking right-wing parties out there right now. Reform aren't it, because they're a bunch of hapless fucks who are, despite their ability to get in the papers, pretty bad at playing the political long game. And despite the latest council results, they weren't as damning as it immediately seemed.
They didn't actually gain control of that many councils
They
either.
But the papers sure as hell made out that they did.
I think things are going to get worse, and before they get better, I mean more like not even just what parties in control. I mean just like walking down the street, the atmosphere, all of that kind of stuff. It's going to be pretty brutal. I think. I don't really know. Like, I mean, I was at something on Monday night about the kind of future of journalism, and it was the National Union of Journalists, and they were talking about AI as the new intern, and like about and these are like the kind of people who are at this. They're not necessarily like Daily Mail kind of journals or anything like that. They were
more like Reuters and all that.
Yeah, John McDonnell was like hosting it. Do you know him? Like he was like he's one of the kind of Corbyn. He was in Corbyn's cabinet as a shadow chancellor. Yeah, he spoke really well actually. But like there was just this really serious discussion around what AI is actually doing to how kind of information circulates in society, and it's like an intensification of things that are already in play on algorithmic news feeds and the like. So,
but the thing is also that it's so eager to please that it'll just tell you whatever you want to hear.
Yeah, it's
and there's some of them where if you put in like certain things, it will initially tell you no, but then if you just put it in 3 more times, it will just tell you how to make a bomb. And it's just like, and it's I mean, someone on my course was arrested in the street, picked up on the facial recognition cameras because she's part of a protest group. The thing is, it was like an outstanding.
Charged with what?
Well, the thing is, it was for an outstanding thing that she was already charged. Alleged. Well, the thing is, she was picked up on a suspected theft charge because other people in the organisation had done like shoplifting food banks action. But she wasn't involved in, and also she already has a court date, which is then postponed. She's going to be like 23, being tried for something she did when she was 19, because of how our legal system is fucked. And maybe she won't have a jury. If David Lammy gets his way, but
Oh yeah.
And it was just like it was, I mean, she was just arrested on the street out of nowhere in the middle of Peckham. It was just like.
I fucking hate the facial recognition cameras. Yeah. Something about that and it's one of those where I'm like, it's not one where I feel like I actually have to sit down and come up with some logical reasoned argument where I can be like, oh, this is against my freedoms. I'm like, there's something just fucking icky about you putting signs up telling me you've got facial recognition cameras and a bunch of bobbies stood about doing sweet fuck all by these cameras that are recording us all in an area known for crime that you're not doing much about by just being stood around. And you see them on the corner and you're like, there's a bunch of old fellas smoking the fattest reefer up there. I'm not saying you should arrest them, but you are just stood nearby doing sweet fuck all.
And also they're using a system that they know disproportionately wrongfully convicted.
They don't give a shit. This is why Henry Novak dies, because our fucking police aren't necessarily racist or evil. They're just shit.
Yeah.
In a lot of aspects. Anyway, let's play some D&D.
At least we can go to a world we can fix.
Yeah.
You say that.
The watch aren't the worst. So, You all find your reasons, through one way or another, to head to the crash site. Takes a bit of time to get there. Accounts that you hear differ in what supposedly happened to the ship last night. Some people say that as it was exploding, the engines gave one final blast and fired it over here. Some people say that a dragon caught it and took it across. Some people say that they saw the hand of Kiston himself pluck it from the sky and move it out of the way of any of the households. It is only a couple of people who speak of a strange flying object in front of a ship, far, far smaller, that somehow managed to catch it in some magical net. People are massing near the crash site. There's still some smoke that comes up from it, far less now. There's a large crowd. There are several soldiers about. You've seen some of them in the center of the city. The army arrived in force last night, a little late to handle a lot of what happened, but still there and doing their part now. The standing army of Offervin, other than some little colonial disputes, haven't had much to do for a while, so are kind of prepared to be sent out onto the streets doing building work and handing out things like that. It helps the populace, they know, to see that the army does more than just shoot people. They still have their guns on them, however, and are still wearing a lot more armor and clothing than everyone else. It's fields nearby where the crash site is, an area where sheep were perhaps grazing last night, where crops were growing. It's hard to tell. The area, the ground around the pit is burnt and scorched, dry yellow earth where grass once was. And the rest of it is being trampled down by the crowds. You, as we discussed last session, make your way around. So you are on the side of a pit where you're facing, you can see Beormingas on the other side of it. And it is there from that view that you can glimpse below the crust of the earth, a thick, heavy mantle of earth and dirt and rock and stone, everything you've walked on all your life. And then below that, in this impossibly deep hole, 100, 150 feet, 200, it's hard to tell. Your eyes feel like they're playing tricks on you. This chasm of darkness. Just beyond, you can see the shape of buildings and other shapes moving between, with wings on their back and horns on their head. You last saw them populating a little station stuck in wartime. Void demons roam around. As you take in this sight, there is a cry from the crowd. Someone bursts through the line of soldiers that are roughly keeping a barrier and leaps into the pit. They bounce with a bang, hitting nothing that you can see, but something, some invisible membrane launches them back into the air. They land heavily on their back, hitting a couple of people underneath them, but they probably break their fall enough so they're not severely injured. There are shouts, confused groans from the crowd. Make me a perception check.
14.
This is an 18 plus 8. So that's
26.
Yeah.
24.
Fab. You all, as this person is bounced back, hear this loud, strange groaning noise. You're able to pick up where it comes from. Some 50 feet away from the edge. there is a traveller's caravan. One of those old horse-drawn things, arched roof, curtains down the side bearing intricate floral patterns. Something horse-like you can't quite make out on the other side. It gives out this strange groan. And there's something about it. Keeps your eye on it. Sucks it in almost like the pit itself. And as you look over that way, a slight movement catches your eye above. Glancing upwards, you see a carpet floating on high, and watching down at everything going on, a tabaxi, smoking a pipe.
I always imagine like whenever this guy comes in, like suddenly a text box appears. Like,
This motherfucker has entered the chat. He hasn't spotted you yet.
I lift the staff up and give a bit of a wave.
There is a sort of acknowledgement. He lifts the pipe, and still smoking, still watching down over everything, the carpet just begins to gently move down. He's away from the edge, and you have to move away from the edge to greet him, but Mountain Crook steps up from his carpet, rolls it up, keeping the pipe in his mouth as he does so, and straps it to his side. Bonjour, mon amis. It is good to see you again.
And yourself, mate. It's been a strange couple of fucking days, I guess. I imagine you can
It
glean.
has. I thought it would be a longer time since I saw you again, but here we are. Gogo, good to see you.
Hello, Bard.
Thank you. What happened?
You want the long story or the short one, mate?
yeah.
Please.
We were on a little. We were investigating a ghost train.
Story
We went
for
on a
another
ghost-
day.
We went on a ghost train. We went somehow back in time, but also there was void demons. We came back. As we were coming back on the train, we saw this ship coming. We rushed back and warned them, and then it started attacking the city, saying that it wanted to take control of the city. Some guy called Huron Stoutmast.
Oui. I'd heard of him. Didn't expect anything like this. And so it's not your fault?
I mean,
Not that we're aware of. When did you arrive?
Last night, I am more than a court jester. I was roped in as emergency transport for the commander-in-chief. He's having a meeting currently. I am
Well, the Grey Hollows are in the city.
Lord Greyhollow. Oui. Lady Greyhollow is staying where she is right now. There's not much she can do, but the commander-in-chief was seen as an important person to be around when Overvin has suffered its first domestic attack in quite some time. Yes, he's having a meeting. My diplomatic skills are limited when it comes to certain peoples, ironically enough.
Any insight from Grey Hollow about what he thinks is going on? Or has he kept quiet?
He was a bit jumpy. It's what? It was about a month ago, well, a month and a bit, that was the anniversary of the Fuban incursion. He's always on edge around that time. He was scared that it was another deific attack on the city, on his peoples, that the heroes of Bentona would have to be called in. He'd have to have some awkward conversations with his old friends. I think he was quite relieved when whatever happened. Currently, he is relieved that it is not a military matter beyond whatever is down there. You've spotted it, no?
I mean,
Yeah, we can see that.
it's a bit worrying, I'm not going to say.
Just a little.
I mean, we don't know much about these things, although we seem to have come across them a couple of times now. What do you know about them? What
I've
the fuck's
encountered
keeping them
a
down
couple
there?
of them. Currently, it is Mystique and Marvels that is keeping them in there and keeping people up here. You can thank that thing, and he nods over to the caravan.
Are they friends of yours?
We share a birthplace, but we do not share ideals. They're from a bit further on as well. Many years ago, a friend of mine had ties to the void. He had an idea, a mission that we would undertake to close off all access points to this other plane of existence. We tried it. We went to the Kaim Rock. I was there. And it was on me to perform the ritual to close any gateways. And I found I could not. For two reasons. One is that some peoples are touched by the void. They exist on this plane with us, in Offavin. Perhaps in Frosk too. Their link means closing any portals is not possible. That's what I told them. But really, the problem goes deeper than that. The problem is that the void is not a different plane or even a demi-plane. It is a part of this plane. It is the underneath.
We've come to that conclusion fairly recently ourselves, mate.
For various reasons, I had to keep it to myself.
What became of your friend?
Oh, he's off somewhere. I'm not sure where now. Probably on some adventure. He was always a bit of a loner. I do not know what to tell you. Do you have any theories?
I mean, we were led to believe that there was some kind of, incursion is obviously the word that comes to mind, but maybe on a more small scale. We were led to believe that that was maybe occurring. We ran into some interesting creatures, didn't we? And it was suggested by a gentleman a lot smarter than the likes of us that it was some kind of breach from some other plane.
Bleeding in from another plane.
I'm not sure if the Lady Greyolo mentioned, but let's just say we were fucking around underneath a temple, quite close to her ladyship's beautiful home, and came across a temple underneath a temple. And let's just say outside of them windows, there was quite a few thousand void demons. They was being kept out by something, and well, we didn't really poke around too much, but we did let the lady know what was down there.
And you still think this is smaller than Fuban?
I mean, we saw them somewhere else, didn't we? Well, as Flint here mentioned, we were investigating fucking ghost train bullshit. But we went on a little journey. Where did we go? Where did we go?
Windmouth.
We headed out to Weymouth, and
But it seemed to be
I don't know. It seemed like a little pocket.
of wartime, but
of something
also,
happened a couple hundred years ago or something.
but it seemed like it was during the war, but there was dragons, which I have no knowledge of. But
It seemed like there was people trapped there.
yeah, but
Only-
they were also void demons. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think they was all entirely people.
If you shone light on them, you saw, let's say, that they were apparitions, that they were tormented souls. Yeah, as you say, perhaps trapped there.
I mean, well, we was traveling on the ethereal plane when we arrived, and we sure as hell made it back just about in one piece. But
So you've been there, you think? That wind mouth was another part of this?
If you look in that hole there's a few things that seem awfully familiar.
I don't know, there seem to be little pockets here and there. But maybe,
We found a small pocket underneath the chapel in Daytona as well.
well, the temple, yeah. Only looking down there suggests to me that it ain't little pockets, it might be
Everywhere.
everywhere. But you said it's not part of another plane, it's part of this plane.
There is no shutting it off. It is part of the world. It would be an exile rather than a doorway.
Would be a what, sorry?
An exile. You'd be excising part of the natural plane and locking it off elsewhere. I've dealt with some planar things, but this is not quite one of them. And you say you've already been below. You've been to Windmouth. You think you have visited the void.
Something related to that, at least.
All
Well,
the
Gogo stuck his head down into that underneath of the temple.
yeah, anywhere that we have seen has had old flags, which seem to be the armies of the Great Battle.
It all seems to be connected to the war, but
It does.
all these little pockets seem to be stuck
Stuck
back then. You ever heard of somebody with a red right hand? Somebody traversing in between planes.
Missing a left hand? A red right hand? No.
Missing a left?
Maybe I. Don't worry.
You said you tried to, well, somebody wanted you to contain all of this, or contain all of these void demons.
Oh, some time ago.
How'd you come by that mission?
Helping with the incursion. After the ascension of Karun, it was seen as something worthwhile doing. Our adventures shone some light on other ways the void had been utilized. People were infused with it, turned into weapons. Frosk seemed to have a closer connection to the void than Ophavin did, but maybe it was different to how we believe.
When you say turned into weapons, like what?
Oh, trained from childhood to kill, given supernatural powers to assassinate. None of you are royalists, are you? None of you long for the days of the Empire.
Not particularly, mate. I don't think it was a
Oh,
particularly
okay.
fun time for plebs like us.
You know King Aldrich, the last king of Ophavin before he was deposed? When was he deposed? What was that, 19 years ago now? He'd been dead for 39. He died in the end of the war. He was replaced by a changeling captured from the Froskian army and held as a kidnapped prisoner, forced to play the part of being the royal family of Ophavin. the prince, the king, for 3 decades. They were falsehood.
And who decided that was a good idea?
A man named Spider Sorrow. He is dead.
Spider Sorrow.
Spider Sorrow.
The
He was
general.
the first minister. No, he was a politician. Far more dangerous than a general. You are street urchin, clawed your way up, learned how to bend morals around you, but I saw what you did in that foundry. You found a higher calling. You want to do better for people. I can't get much on. You've got that hat, which is interesting. You're a cleric. You've got an edge to your voice, though, that does not speak of divinity. And that side tells
I'm
me
fucking
you've
trying, mate. I'm fucking trying.
been trying for a long time. I need something new to write about. And you've already been investigating this void.
Yeah, you could say that.
Then, how do you want to go back down there?
I mean, hopefully with some knowledge or some means of knowing how to kill a void demon.
Oh, we can figure that out.
Do you know?
No, but Tevin should. Any loose ends up here you need to sort out?
Some
Yeah, I got one.
goblins I need to help.
And your ghost train, that's all sorted?
And not quite. We need to report back on that one. I got somewhere I need to be this evening, and I'm going to need your help for it. You can come if you want, mate. But
I'll see if I'm free.
Well, it is good to have some... I'm going to make the suggestion to Lord Grey Hollow that you act as a reconnaissance group. If we can have a cleric check you all out to know that none of you are infected with void plague, then we have a pretty good guess that you are all either immune or somehow not affected by it. People we can send in know will come back out who aren't going to poison the rest of us.
well, I'm sure that all of them soldiers would make quick work of us if we did pose a risk.
Oui, that is also true. You are small cogs in a large machine. Do not worry, small cogs do a lot of the work. They bear a lot of heavy weights. They count the seconds, and the seconds turn into minutes, and they turn into hours. I shall speak to Grey Hollow. Are you willing, is the question.
I mean, we're fucking in it now, mate. I want to know what the fuck's down
If
there.
you'd asked me a week ago, I probably said no, but Come on.
That's true. Refusing the call is part of a journey. There is no shame in it.
I flex and twang the new short bow and I say, yeah, all right.
Bon! Let me see if he's ready. Maybe wait here. Miss Deacons can get a little touchy. He strides over to the caravan. Two kobolds who are attending to it look towards him. There's a little bit of chatter between them. He gives a knock. You see Terran Grey Hollow poke his head out, take a look around. Spots you lot. Visibly sighs. Crook comes back over. He will be a couple minutes more. I have some tobacco, I have some drink, and he just starts handing out various things to each of you. Eventually, you see Terran emerge from the caravan. Stepping out with him is a person who you won't have you won't have seen any other peoples of their species, which are dog-like people. This looks like a sort of Irish wolfhound in terms of a facial structure. Very tall, very lean, wearing a green sort of tweed suit. They step out of the caravan, have a look around, spot Crook with you lot, and immediately step back into their caravan. Tevin comes over to you, however, and just... Hail a moment. Crook tells me you've been down there.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
Good.
Not in this city, but in a manner of speaking, yes.
And, well, yes, you survived. You're all here.
Just about, I would say.
No signs of sickness?
No.
And you haven't been restoring everyone the second they start coughing, I hope.
Can't say that I have.
Just above table, have I figured out I'm diseased yet?
You still feel off. You give me a medicine check.
What disease you again?
It was
Mummy
the
rot.
mummy dog.
Was that on the way back?
Yeah, it's on the
Oh, no.
back.
Yeah.
That was what was in the train
freaky
carriage.
Addiction.
For last time I had to go, shit, here's a bullshit session.
Yeah. I mean, I have a passive perception of 23. Like, do I figure out that something's wrong with them?
That's going to be
Yeah, sure.
16.
You are aware that you've got something wrong with you, and that it's probably a disease.
Cool. I'm going to volunteer that information and say, look, on the way back from Bainton, I got bitten by an artifact of some kind, I suppose. I mean, I can probably take care of it.
Artifact?
A freaky dog.
So that's what the
void
fuck
dog?
is wrong with you.
No, it came
It was
out.
a mummy.
It was mummy dog, yeah. That's how to describe it.
You fucking prick. Is that what's been going on this whole fucking time?
Where did it bite you?
It's a bit of my own, I think.
Okay. You can see him like blinking back the exhaustion, and he looks fucking tired. I'll use this one. It's nice to have it back. And he shakes his hand, and it begins to glow with a divine energy, and just places it on your hand and uses lay on hands to cast greater restoration. Been a while.
Thanks.
You feel better?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Next time, fucking say something, mate.
I'm sorry. I'm discussing this idea with you, and I really shouldn't be. There's 100 other people I have to talk to. I have to assess the damage done to the city, see how long the army will need to be here, organize supply routes. But my sister sees a lot of potential in you. That foundry still has not managed to get back to any sort of normal working order. You'll be happy to. And I believe the owner has sent a letter of some complaint to my sister, which she found so amusing she had Crook read it out in different accents.
I wish I could have been there
Yeah.
for that.
However, I don't know how much you know of my story, and I do not mean to wave my celebrity around like some sort of flag. But I did my fair share of adventuring as well. And I know that our desire to do good, desire to be heroes, our ill-begotten faith in ourselves, and just cruel fate. Through many challenges in our way that we were not prepared for, that we were lucky to survive. You're all young enough and have enough of your lives left where you can turn around. And I also need a little more proof than some rabble-rousing. And you are capable of this task. I'm not going to be authorizing you to go dungeoneering today. Maybe not for a few days, given how tired I feel. However, if I were to return or find you again and offer a task to prove your abilities, would you be willing to take it on?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well. Miss Corbell has spotted me and is currently making her way over. This is going to be a very long chat. Wish me luck.
Would you like a delay, or I've got some things I needed to ask her anyway. So.
Wonderful. Apologies. You are an Ilfric here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Your mother's about as well.
Yeah. No.
How is your relationship? I understand. I will handle that for now. But I warn you, the council is... This is the second large-scale event to happen in Beormingas in under a month. Not even sure if it's been 3 weeks yet. The council sees this as a site of interest. They are already contacting seers and prophets to see if they know anything about destiny manifesting here. The council will be paying a lot more attention to Beormingas in the coming days. They will be paying attention to any groups of people who have found themselves in the middle of things. If that is you, my advice would be to not let them know.
Stealth mission.
Nola! Good to see you. I would, if you don't mind, I've got some questions. Mr. Ilfulkir here has some pieces for you as well. I'll let him get those out the way first. I think our conversations will be a little longer than that. And Althea, wonderful to see you. I would like to catch you up on the conversation I had with Mr. Leopold and our Mystican delegates. Good day. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for asking me about my previous days, my youth. It is very heartwarming to see you, but I must be getting along. Very much things to do. Thank you. And he throws a wink your way as he leaves. And we'll end the session there for tonight as it's 11 minutes past. Thank you all kindly.
Very nice.
Being during Terran again.
What's the bard's name again? Sorry.